As the heir of a wealthy family, I have been pursuing Liu Ruyan for 5 years, but she has never been moved. Until the second pursuer arrived, she was full of confidence and had a night of love with him. I thought my pursuit had failed and was ready to leave sadly. Liu Ruyan couldn't find me, but she cried with eyes. When Xiao Mingzhe came to this world, I knew that even the system had given up on me. Standing at the door of Liu Ruyan's house, I heard the laughter of the two people through the door panel. I squeezed the chocolate box in my hand and turned away. This was the last chance, and I still failed. Sometimes you have to admit that the magnetic field between people is a very subtle thing. For example, Liu Ruyan is obviously my pursuit target, but I accidentally fell in love with her, for example. No matter how hard I try, she refuses to take a step towards me. The laughter on the other side of the door pierced my heart like a sharp blade. Things in love never seem to be fair. Xiao Ming's aid just came, and he got the tender treatment that I couldn't get in 5 years. I went home and quietly waited for the punishment from the system, but it didn't wait until 12 o'clock at midnight, and the system came late. I went to make a special application for you. His voice was still that gentle female voice, but it sounded breathless. In view of the fact that you have performed well in other aspects in this world, except for the target, and you have doubled the size of the Yushi group and made certain contributions to this world, now there are two follow-up options. One is to change your target, and it is if the strategy is successful, you can return to the original world and restore your healthy body. The second is to cancel the strategy. You can't go back to the original world, but you can stay here and continue to live as Yu Qingwu. I was stunned. Change the target of the strategy? In the original world, I have never been in love. The only clumsy love and sincerity were given to you are you why and in this world. 5 years have exhausted all my fantasies about love. And staying here in the original world, I was weak and sick, lingering on the sickbed all year round, and I didn't have any relatives and friends. Although this is a world that came because of the strategy, I have relatives and friends, and the Yushi group that I built up. Countless sleepless nights, I worked with my partners in the group to plan, negotiate, and expand the territory. I treat everyone and everything here sincerely. Are you willing to give up? I wiped the tears from my eyes. I really couldn't bear to give up. I choose to. Strategist, have you really thought about it? Once you choose to, you can never go back to your original world. I closed my eyes. Well, thank you. The system also sighed. Let's not be polite. You have tried your best in the past 5 years. Besides, we have been partners for so long. Although I am a system, I also have feelings. I see your efforts. It is Liu Ruyan who is blind and unworthy of you. Today is the last day. Tomorrow I will go to the next job. Yu Qingwu, I wish you a happy life every day in the future in this world. Happy? Liu Ruyan's face appeared in my mind again. Yes, even the system and I have a mutual understanding, which shows how much Liu Ruyan hates me. But it doesn't matter. I will never like him again in the future. The next day, I went to work as usual, opened my phone to process work information, and the top message was still Ruyan, and the last message was the one I sent to him. Ruyan, I learned how to make your favorite hazelnut chocolate. Can I send it to you on the weekend? The message was not replied, and it fell into the sea just like before. In these long 5 years, except for the rare nights when he took the initiative in my memory, the rest was just like a woman show by me. The first time was when he undyed rank too much at the business conference. On the way back, I pulled his sleeves and refused to let go, and vomited on her silk haute couture dress. She rarely looked cold at me. She was obviously drunk, but she calmly dealt with the stains on me and her body, took me home, brushed my teeth and washed my face, and threw me into the bathtub. That night I was unconscious, hugged her like a koala, and when I felt the warmth on my lips, I thought I was dreaming. Her kiss was active and gentle, lips and teeth touching, and I was dreamless that night. But when I woke up the next day, there was no one beside me. I saw the Liu family's nanny heating breakfast and asked me what I wanted to eat. Another night, I failed in the business world and was exploited by my competitors, resulting in huge losses. That night, I was sitting alone by the river drinking, and Liu Ruyin's car suddenly stopped by the roadside. She said she happened to pass by. You are already a very powerful president. There is no need to complain about a failure. That night, he stayed with me by the river for a long time, and finally I fell drunk in his arms. He asked the driver to help me into his car and sent me home. In the car, I fell into his arms, raised my head, and wanted to reach his lips in a daze, but he avoided it. Later, I learned that he would come to me to comfort me, but he was afraid that I was not in a good state and would affect a negotiation. The next day, that negotiation was related to Liu's interest. It seems to be like this for the past 5 years. Whenever I thought I had eaten sweet dates, I was always poured with ice water. The cruel fact told me again and again, Liu Ruyin isn't like me, not at all. Everything in the past was just wishful thinking. Raise your hand to cancel the pinning. At noon, Assistant Xiao Song came in and asked me, Boss Yu, you haven't given me the meal for Boss Yu today. I was stunned. No need to send it. Yu Shi and Liu Shi are located in the buildings of the Gemini building, very close to each other. Ruyin has a bad stomach and is allergic, so her food needs to be specially made. But despite this, there have been several cases in the past where she was hospitalized because she accidentally ate allergic seasonings. I was worried about handing his food to others, so I just made it for him myself. No matter how busy or tired I was the night before, I would make lunch for him and let my assistant send it over. No need to send it in the future, I said. Someone new will make it for him. Xiao Song looked puzzled but still nodded and went out. Who knew that when I took a nap at 1 o'clock, the phone suddenly rang? It was Liu Ruyin's secretary, Xiao Wang. Boss Yu, he said apologetically, I'm sorry to bother you, but I didn't deliver lunch today. Boss Liu is still waiting. I was silent for a moment. Xiao Wang, I'm here. Boss Yu, before I deliver lunch to your boss Liu, what standard special lunch did you order for him? Hi, it seems to be a special meal worth 1,000 yuan. Then go ahead and order it. I said calmly, tell your boss Liu that I won't deliver lunch in the future. People are inevitably irritated when they are woken up from their nap, but I didn't expect that at 3 o'clock. Xiao Song came in again and told me that Liu Ruyin had a stomachache, as if she had eaten something too spicy. Xiao Wang was anxious, and Boss Liu refused to go to the hospital. Xiao Song said, he said that when Boss Liu had a stomachache before, you seem to have made some medicinal soup for him. Baidu let him Baidu it himself. I looked up. If you still can't find the answer after Baidu, I suggest you go to the hospital early. After all, serious allergies can kill people. In fact, Xiao Wang's fault. I used to care about Liu Ruyin, and I was very anxious when he had a little illness or pain. Over time, he got used to notifying me. At this time, the front desk called again, Mr. Yu, there is a gentleman named Xiao Mingze at the front desk looking for you. He said that if he says the word strategy to you, you will understand. I was silent for a moment. Let him come up. After Zhao Ming's entered my office, he looked around curiously. Are you the previous strategist of mine that the system mentioned? He sat opposite me casually. Can I call you by your name? I nodded. It's okay. Have you really not been able to win over Liu? Are you Ruyin in 5 years? I was silent. Yes. How strange. I thought he was quite easy to deal with. He shrugged. He let me stay at home last night. I was stunned. Of course, he was drunk, so we didn't succeed in the end. He blinked. But he gets drunk so easily. He should be the type that can be easily pushed down. His lips are also quite soft, which feels good. Xiao Mingze, I interrupted him. What on earth do you want to talk to me about? Oh, he seemed annoyed. Brother, I want to ask you for help. It's Liu Ruyin. She doesn't like to talk much. She hasn't eaten yet at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I can't just sit there, so I asked her what she likes to eat. But she didn't tell me, she just told me to decide. So I ordered her according to her preferences. We ordered takeout, but he started to have stomachache after eating Mao Zhu Wang. I was so scared, afraid that his favorability would drop because of this. I heard from his secretary that you were the one who made Ruyin's lunch before, so you must know his preferences, brother. Since you are not going to pursue him anyway, why not pass on your strategy experience to me, brother? Do me a favor. I don't actually have any strategy experience. I shook my head. Although this is a game mission we accepted, everyone here is alive, and I always think that sincerity should be exchanged for sincerity. He looked at me, seemingly not understanding. But aren't they just targets for strategy and then PCS? This place is actually no different from the world we live in, I whispered. No matter who you want to conquer, you still have to understand the other person with your heart, rather than using so-called experience. But I don't have time. He was silent for a moment, then sighed. I came to this world for my mother. My mother is dying, and I must complete the mission within a year to save my mother. He buried his head in his hands in pain. Brother, I really have to complete the mission quickly. Only after completing the mission can I go home. Forget it. I got up and took out a small notebook from the bookcase. In this notebook are the special recipes I have researched over the past 5 years, as well as the things you need to pay attention to when taking care of him in case he has an allergy or stomachache. If it's useful to you, take it. He hurriedly took it, but after flipping through a few pages, he couldn't help exclaiming, My God, this is too detailed. There really is no more detailed strategy than this. This is not a strategy. I wanted to say it's sincere, but I couldn't say it this time after all. It's ridiculous to think about it. What qualifications do I, a loser, have to say this? By the way, brother, I have one more favor to ask of you. He put his hands together. Although you are Wyan knows that you are a capturer. I am a capturer. Please keep it a secret from him, please. I was stunned. What did you say? What did you are Wyan know? Zhao Ming's crossed his legs. He said it himself when he was drunk last night. He heard the conversation between you and the system and knew that you were capturing him. Zhao Ming's words were like a stone in the water which caused ripples in my heart, but soon the ripples disappeared. What does it matter if you know or not? Anyway, everything is over. A few days later, I went to a business banquet, and the Wyan also went. It was Zhao Mingze who was next to her. She took his arm, and I just glanced at her, then turned around and continued to smile and greet others. Socializing is also a physical job, but sometimes you have to do it. And I was chatting with the president of Z, and he suddenly waved behind me. Mister. Looking back, I saw Wyan walking over, and Xiao Ming's was not beside him. Just now you said we would meet. Why didn't Mister? You see, President Z is a lively person. I heard some rumors recently that you two are going to get married soon. It's not that no one has teased me and Liu Wyan before. Every time I foolishly expected him to say something to surprise me, which is ridiculous enough. Wyan looked calm. Although she didn't look as gloomy as usual, she didn't say anything. Mr. Z, it's just a rumor. Don't believe it. I patted him. And Mr. You brought a male companion today. He looks very handsome. Didn't you see it? Oh, President Z's eyes swept across our faces playfully. I really didn't see it. After chatting for a few more words, I found an excuse to leave and went to the second-floor balcony. There is us over here. I like to sit here round rest every time I feel tired. There is a door behind the chair which leads to a lounge on the second floor. This door is not soundproof. As soon as I sat down, a familiar male voice came through clearly, System. You King Wu is really stupid. Don't you interview when you choose the strategist? You don't just look at the face, do you? I just acted in front of him, and he actually believed the nonsense that my mother was sick. Is my acting too good, or is he too stupid? He is silly, and his appearance is comparable to mine. No wonder he couldn't handle Wyan in 5 years. I am really impressed. To be honest, he is a loser who stayed in this world, and now he is just an NPC in my game. He actually taught me to treat everyone sincerely. So funny, so noisy. I said. It was quiet inside, and there was a rustling sound. The door opened, and Xiao Ming's stood in front of me with a pale face. You King Wu. I'll give you a piece of advice, voice, I said in a light voice. This door is not soundproof. You disturbed my rest. The expression on his face changed again and again. Brother, don't get me wrong. I didn't mean to say that. It doesn't matter. You are a grown man. You won't be so petty just because of this. You will tell Wyan that I am a strategist? I shook my head. No, I am not interested in participating in your affairs. You can rest assured. But please don't appear in front of me in the future and don't come to me for any strategies because I don't like you. Finally stopped talking, turned around and left, probably to find Liu or Yuan. The balcony finally returned to silence. I closed my eyes for a while, and when I opened my eyes, I saw Yuan standing in front of me. Don't know when she came, and I don't know how long she looked at me. Every time I get tired, I hide here, he said. What's the matter? I stood up and frowned. He was silent for a moment. Xiao Mingzi is very simple-minded. He and I are just ordinary superiors and subordinates. Don't embarrass him just because I brought him here. It turned out that he was here to call for punishment. I looked at Liu or Yuan, and suddenly I felt a little bit worthless for my past self. Mr. Liu is overthinking, I smiled. Your assistant, why should I embarrass him? Am I jealous that he can be with you? He frowned, don't say that on purpose. You are Yuan. I don't want to conquer you anymore. He was stunned. What? At this point, there is no need to hide it. You knew I came here with a conquest mission, right? I smiled. It was that night, right? After Xiao Ming's A told me, I thought about it for a long time. My conversations with the system have always been conducted carefully when no one is around. If it weren't for that night. The first night he and I were together, I woke up in the middle of the night, and I felt that the sweetness in my heart was so full that it was about to overflow, and I couldn't fall asleep. Looking at Liu, our Yuan, who was sleeping soundly, I tiptoed out of bed and ran to the living room to call the system. Out, system, system. Am I going to succeed in the conquest? How should I put it? Intimacy does not mean success in the conquest. He also needs to fall in love with you. I thought of his passionate kiss before going to bed and was full of confidence he will love me. The system smiled. Then I wish you success in advance. I guess I will also be happy to spin around. I said a few more words to the system, and suddenly there was a faint sound in the bedroom. I quickly kept silent and went back to the bedroom lightly. Yuan was still sleeping soundly. I was relieved. I felt that at that time. You woke up and heard the conversation between me and the system, right? I smiled. He didn't say anything, which was considered a tacit agreement. I'm sorry to bother you for so long, but don't worry, it won't happen again in the future. I turned to leave, but my hand was suddenly grabbed by him. What do you mean by it won't happen again in the future? He widened his eyes, but his voice contained a slight tremor that was not easy to detect. What I mean is, because you don't love me, my capture mission has ended in failure. The system is gone, and I will never capture you again. You can rest assured that I will no longer communicate with you outside of work, of course. If you don't even want to communicate about work, I can gradually reduce cooperation with Liu, although I don't think it's necessary to go against money. When I turned to leave, his voice suddenly came from behind. So you said you liked me for so many years, just for the purpose of conquering. His voice suddenly came from behind. Do you really only regard me as a conquering target and have no other feelings at all? No, but when the surging love disappears, what's the point of explaining, whatever you think? People always like to believe what they want to believe. For 5 years, I always naively thought that my love had already permeated those trivial concerns, affectionate gazes, and countless times of persistent pursuit. Even though he knew that I was a conqueror, love and sincerity could be felt. But he chose to believe his own guess and turned a blind eye. There were sudden footsteps behind me, and Yuan took a few steps forward to grab me, hurriedly as if grabbing something that was about to be lost. I am not his baby at all, never. You have been lying to me, right? You don't love me at all. He stared into my eyes and asked. I knew what answer he wanted, and answered that he was not wrong and did not do anything wrong. I met his eyes. It's all sincere. What did I say? He was stunned. I came here with the mission of conquering you, but I also really love you. The ups and downs of the business world, you and I are just like you, obviously good at seeing through people's hearts. Have you never realized that I have always been sincere to you? When I left, Liu Yuan was still standing on the balcony in a daze. After chatting with a few business partners for a while, I was ready to go home. Zhao Sang was waiting for me at the door. Mr. Yu, are you going back? Yes. Mr. Liu, won't wait. In the past, whether we were attending an event together or a meeting, I would wait for Yuan to join us. She was born with a weak alcohol tolerance, but it is impossible for people in the business world not to drink. Every time I didn't see her assistant helping her into the car, I would feel uneasy. But Xiaosong, I reminded in a low voice, it seems that Mr. Liu over there is always looking at you. I was stunned and turned around. Liu Yuan had arrived at the entrance of the hall and was standing not far away. Xiao Hong Xiao Ming's A beside her seemed to be smiling and talking to her, but her eyes were always looking at me. Our eyes met, and this time I looked away first. Let's go. We won't wait any more. I was very busy in the next few days because Grandma's birthday was coming. I held a birthday party for the old lady at home and invited some of Grandma's friends, including the old man of the Yu family. Unexpectedly, Yuan also came. She brought a very beautiful brooch. I thought for a long time before I remembered that this was a birthday gift I gave her 1 year. Even the brooch style was designed by myself, but she had never worn it. During the meal, I took the initiative to present the noodles I made by hand to each other. Grandma asked at me, and couldn't help sighing, oh, why don't I have a grandson like Xiao Wu? This noodle is so delicious, right? It's okay to be handsome, but he can manage the company and even cook. Old you, how can you have such a good grandson? You have no chance. The Grams mug cheerfully. It's in the genes. Several people laughed together. Another grandma looked at Liu, Yuan, who was standing quietly by the side, and joked, Xiao Wu is not young anymore. When are you going to get married? In the past, it was not that no elders had teased Liu, Yuan, and me on such occasions. I liked her and anyone with a discerning eye could see it, but she never responded. I stood up and poured wine for the grandma with a smile. I'm still single. If you know someone suitable, you're welcome to introduce me to someone. When we get married, I'll give you a big red envelope. Plot, the cup of Liu Yuan opposite fell over, and the servants hurriedly helped him wipe the stains on the table, skirt and brooch. I'll do the brooch myself, thank you, she said softly. Yuan too, do you want Grandma to introduce you to someone as well? Liu Yuan's hand stagnated as she wiped the brooch. No, thank you, Gran. The old people present, including my grandma, were all smart people. After eating for a while, my grandma suddenly asked the old man of the Liu family, do you want to play a game of chess with him? Grandpa Liu naturally accepted the challenge, while several other grandparents expressed their desire to go and watch. Suddenly, only Yuan and I were left at the table. To be honest, I used to be so happy to have this opportunity to be alone that I would rack my brains to think of some fresh and interesting topics to tell him, but now I have no desire to talk. The other side of the hall was very lively, with people playing chess, watching chess, and commenting on chess. On Yuan and I's side, there was no other sound except the sound of our bowls and chopsticks. Did you make the noodles? She suddenly asked. Yeah. Kneading noodles is a technical job. Who did you learn it from? I put down the bowl. If you don't think it tastes good, you don't have to eat it. She was stunned. I'm nuts. 当时两位脸对佛语改州的选照得非常的接近。之后呢 I got up and went to the third floor terrace. Grandma is very lively, so I prepared fireworks on the terrace today. Unexpectedly, she followed me. Let me help. It's already been arranged. Just go down and wait and watch. But she still didn't leave. Anything else? I went to the mall yesterday and saw a tie that suits you. You must be mistaken. Today is my grandma's birthday, not mine. The air fell silent again. Just as I checked everything and was about to go downstairs, she suddenly spoke again that night. I heard the conversation between you and the system. I couldn't stand being deceived at the time, so I left early the next morning. You didn't hear everything I said. She was stunned. In fact, I said something else later that night after confirming that he was asleep. I ran to another room and quietly asked the system another question. I asked the system if I could choose to stay in this world if I succeeded in the final strategy. I looked up at the dark night sky. I said I couldn't bear to leave you. I wanted to be with you forever. I was so happy that night, not only because of our close relationship, but also because the system finally agreed to help me apply for it and let me stay with you and in this world after the strategy was successful. Perhaps it was the same. I still stayed in this world, but I had nothing to do with you or you Ryan anymore. After saying that, I turned and went downstairs. You are you. Ryan was stunned for a moment and chased after me. AWU. The Five Mountains main gate management office said that a Mr. Han is looking for you. Aunt Zhang said at the stairs. Xiao Mingze, what is he doing here? I went out puzzled lie only to see Xiao Mingze holding a gift box at the door of the villa. You are Ui and followed me and saw him with the same puzzlement. What are you doing here? I heard that Grand Miao is having a birthday, so I made a small gift. He stammered. Mister, you won't dislike it, right? I remember clearly telling him not to appear in front of me again. Mister Yu, can you come over? He seemed cautious. I took 2 steps forward, and he suddenly leaned close to my ear. Brother, my strategy has reached a critical stage. I can borrow you to play a role. As he said that, he suddenly grabbed my hand, threw the gift in his hand away, and fell to the ground a few steps back. He had a painful expression on his face and looked over me at Liu Ruyan, but my back was facing Liu Ruyan, and he couldn't see my hand movements from that angle. Suddenly, I understood Zhao Ming's intention, and I sighed. Sure enough, Liu Ruyan walked over quickly. What's wrong? He frowned. Ruyan. He maintained the posture of falling to the ground. Pitiful. I just want to give the gift to President Yu, but you were not invited and shouldn't have come. Liu Ruyan said coldly. What? He widened his eyes, as if he couldn't understand why the plot didn't develop as imagined. But this result was actually expected. The Hawi Yuan I know would not be swayed by such tricks. She may have been indifferent to me, but she is not the brainless heroine in the novel. If she couldn't even see through such a simple trick, the Yu family would have been defeated by her long ago. Zhao Ming's risky move of taking advantage of me was wrong. In the end, Liu Ruyan called the housekeeper of the villa area, and the security guard asked Xiao Ming's to leave. After the surroundings returned to silence, Liu Ruyan turned to look at me and said, I'm sorry. Today is my grandma's birthday, I sighed. Your little boyfriend is making such a fuss. If someone takes a picture of it and makes it to the news, please ask Mr. You to pay attention to it and solve it. Me? Liu Ruyan frowned. He's not my little boyfriend. She suddenly stood in front of me. You King Mu, I like you. I was stunned and looked at her inexplicably. She took my hand. Liu Ruyan's hands were very beautiful. How many times in the past I hoped that such a beautiful pair of hands would take my hand actively. I have thought it through. I like you. I just thought that you approached me with ulterior motives before. I didn't want to fall in love with me just to complete the strategy task. I didn't want to give my feelings but get deceived, so. Liu Ruyan, I interrupted her. I once heard a saying, true love never lies. I gently shook off her hand. Liu Ruyan, you don't love me. You just love yourself. Who doesn't want to get hurt, right? After setting off the fireworks and sending away all the guests, I returned to the villa. These elderly people eat so little, said Aunt Shang while cleaning up. Grandma's appetite has decreased. As she said that, she suddenly laughed. Only Miss Yu eats a lot. She doesn't leave any noodles. She can eat so much. She doesn't look like she has a bad stomach or allergies. Xiao Xiao went upstairs to find Grandma. Grandma waved to me excitedly in the study. Xiao Wu, come quickly. I'm reviewing the game I just played with Lao Lu. Can you tell me how I can make this move to survive? I walked over, sat opposite her, and thought for a while, then gently placed a piece. Grandma clapped her hands and laughed. Great! Speaking of which, I taught you how to play Go. You are really better than your teacher, she sighed. You taught me well. Have you had a quarrel with the girl from the Yu family recently? She asked casually. I was silent for a moment. Grandma, I don't like her anymore. Grandma held the chess piece, her eyes sharp. I liked her for 5 years, and now you don't like her anymore, yes. I lowered my head. Do you think I'm too willful? The air was quiet. She suddenly put down the chess piece, straightened her back. Grandson, what kind of people in this world do you think have the capital to be willful? I looked up at her in confusion. He took over a group in his 20s, doubled the group in just a few years, and achieved results that his grandparents didn't achieve in half their lifetime. Do you think such a person has the capital to be willful? Grandma. I stared at her blankly. She laughed, leaned over and touched my head. You're just unselfish. Now that you can be willful, Grandma can't wait to be happy. My eyes were sour and I went forward and hugged Grandma's neck like a child. Thank you, Grandma. Silly boy, she sighed. In this world, there are many good things besides love. After Grandma's birthday, I threw myself into my busy work again. I was working in the office that day, and the door suddenly opened. It turned out to be my distant cousin who has been running a modeling company abroad. She walked in with 10 handsome guys of different skin colors. What is this for? The cousin sat down on the sofa next to me and handed me a box. This is a gift from our old lady to you. I took the box, inexplicably opened it, and there was a note inside. It was Grandma's note. Grandson, Grandma is not a pedantic person. Grandma supports you no matter what. The tea almost spit out. Can you explain to me what's going on? I gritted my teeth and looked at my cousin. She widened her eyes innocently. Isn't it? I went to see the old lady this morning, and she said you don't have a girlfriend yet, so I popularized some knowledge to the old lady. After thinking about it for a long time, the old lady told me to bring people here. These are the best models in our company. See which one you like and stay to chat with you. You have 1 minute to get everyone out of here. No, cousin, I brought them here with great difficulty. Looking at the 10 handsome guys in front of me, I pinched my eyebrows. How about this? Let them go to the office area outside to help the company employees deliver dessert. Are you really not going to leave one behind? You don't want the third round of financing for your company, right? My cousin immediately changed her face. I'll be out right away. After a handsome guy went out, my cousin was still hesitating. Anything else? She came over. Brother, I heard that there is a very well-built gym behind your office. Can you let me see it? If you keep talking nonsense to the old lady in the future, I tapped the table with my fingers. Absolutely not. She raised both hands to promise. Okay. There is a small private gym behind my office. I took her there and pointed to the equipment. If you want, you can choose the one you like to practice. So my cousin went to lift weights excitedly. Forget it, as long as she is happy. Just as I was having a great time running on the treadmill, my cousin, who was lifting weights next to me, suddenly stopped. She was nervous. Brother, there seems to be a female pervert in the building opposite. She came over and pointed to me. Look, the woman opposite has been watching us for a long time. I took a look and saw URUY and standing in the office of the opposite building. She was holding a teacup in her hand and her eyes were fixed on this place. My cousin has been abroad for many years and didn't know her. She asked trembling Lai, is she a peeping Tom? Don't worry about it, I said in a calm voice. Pull the curtain. Okay, she happily went to draw the curtains, but accidentally tripped, and I hurried to help her. This posture looked a bit like kissing from the opposite side, and with his wish, the curtains were drawn. At the end of the get-off-work day, my cousin brought 10 handsome guys to say goodbye to me. My eyebrows twitched, and I said to her, it's okay, you don't have to come again. After all the whole afternoon, it seemed that there was no female employee in work, not even some male employees. When I walked to the secretariat, Zhao Song hadn't left yet. Why haven't you left work yet? I asked casually. He frowned. Because Xiao Wang has to work overtime today. Xiao Wang has something to do. What does Xiao Wang's overtime have to do with you? She's my girlfriend, mister. You probably realized what he said. Lao Song quickly stood up and looked like he was about to cry. That, we are not. It doesn't matter. Although I was surprised, I didn't intend to interfere. It's good, love is free. Don't have any concerns because of me. No wonder she knows all the gossip about the Yu family. In fact, we got together slowly because I helped you and General Manager. You pass messages and deliver meals. He was a little embarrassed. By the way, General Manager Yu, did you know? General Manager Yu was injured. General Manager Liu, I don't know what happened. She cut her hand with a piece of teacup this afternoon. Zhao wants to take her to the hospital for bandage, so she hasn't got off work yet. You don't seem to care much. He touched his head. Yeah, I smiled. So you don't have to tell me about General Manager Liu in the future. The next day, I met Liu RUY in the lobby on the first floor of the company. Her right hand was still bandaged. Can you give me some time? She said softly. Liu, are you Yan? I sighed. If it's a work matter, let the people below do it. It's not a work matter. She stopped me. Please, 5 minutes is 5 minutes. I frowned and looked at her. She reached out and held my hand. If you care about Xiao Ming's eye and are angry for him, I have already made it clear to him. I admit that I had the intention of using him to anger you. I hate myself who is always controlled by you. I want myself to like others and try to like someone who is sincere to me, but I find that I can't do it. Now I find that I can't stand having someone else around you. She softened her voice. Don't be angry, okay? Liu, are you Yan? You misunderstood? I said in a light voice. What happens between the two of us has nothing to do with others, and I am not angry with you. I just don't love you anymore, and you may not be able to distinguish between possessiveness and love. In the past 5 years, he obviously had a grudge but didn't tell me. Didn't want to like me but never blocked me, accepted my kindness. But always let me hold a glimmer of hope, looking forward to maybe this time. Next time he will look back at me, just don't wait to maybe this time. Next time he will look back at me, just don't want the things that originally belonged to him to be taken away, right? No. She looked painful and shook her head desperately. I really love you. As the two pulled, but suddenly he was standing outside the door like a ghost. When our eyes met, he forced a smile and walked in. You are Y and followed my gaze and looked back and saw him. Are you Yan? Why didn't he answer my call? He stepped forward. Why did you let the Human Resources Department talk to me about the termination of the contract? Why didn't you see me, Xiao Mingze? Liu, are you Y and frowned. Maybe I made you misunderstand at the beginning, but we have made it. What do you want to make clear? He suddenly shouted. I love you, can't you see it? When we met, you clearly said that I have a cheerful personality, that I have a nice voice, and you were obviously moved. Liu, are you Y was silent for a moment. I'm sorry, you are very good, and I know that you really like me, but I really don't like you. Xiao Ming's A looked at her blankly and suddenly raised his hand and pointed at me. It was you, right? Did you say it to him? You said I was a strategist, right? What? Liu, are you Y was stunned. How can you be so vicious? He threw the notebook I had given him before at me. You are using me to verify his sincerity. You have obviously failed in your strategy, so why are you still messing around with? You are lying. You didn't tell him, so why doesn't he like me? His eyes were full of resentment. You just don't succeed, so you don't want me to succeed. So you don't want me to reason with people who are making trouble. Security. I turned my head and someone came forward immediately. Xiao Ming's A was driven out of the door and was still shouting. When you are UY and heard the word strategy, she was stunned in place. She bent down with trembling hands and picked up the notebook on the ground. He asked me for this. Since he doesn't need it, throw it away. But she held the notebook tightly and didn't let go, as if she had not recovered from the shock. Look, Liu, are you YN? I said in a calm voice. What you once thought and were sure of is not necessarily right. I never know how to judge sincerity. But the moment of revealing the truth came earlier and more unexpectedly than expected. AWU? She said in her trembling voice. What he said. I looked straight into her eyes and said calmly, Xiao Ming's I and I are both strategists. After that, Liu Yu and began to become attentive. Lunch on the desk, daily carrying messages, small gifts from time to time, saying that she was learning to cook. Everything seemed to be the opposite. She suddenly lowered her posture and said that she would do everything I had done before for me, but I was calm. A few months passed, and I didn't pay much attention to her except for work, but she still insisted. When I got off work that day, it was drizzling. I walked out of the company building and found that she was standing at the door of the company waiting for me as usual. This time I didn't ignore her, but walked over. Let's take a walk together. Her eyes lit up. The two walked past the corner without an umbrella. Do you remember where you first met me? She was stunned. It was in this street coffee shop. I was very excited that day because I had grown up to 22 years old in this world, and I could finally know who my target was. Then I saw you and fell in love at first sight. Later, the system told me that my target was you. Do you know how happy I was at that moment? The person I liked at first sight turned out to be my target. Where in the world can I find something luckier than this? 5. She stretched out her hand awkwardly, and I avoided it and smiled at her. Are you YN? This matter has always been a secret in my heart, a heart-moving secret. When I first started to target you before going to bed at night, I had thought more than once about how I would tell you the secret on our wedding night. I would kiss you gently first, pretend to be mysterious and wait for you to beg me, and then quietly lie down in your ear and tell you, wife, I actually have a system that allows me to capture you, but do you know, before the system allowed me to capture you, I actually fell in love with you. I just didn't expect that I waited for 5 years for that imagined night and didn't wait. 5. She grabbed my hand, her eyes red. I will never let you wait again, You misunderstood me. I shook my head to interrupt him. The reason why I can talk to you about this calmly now is because I have really let it go. The passion and love for you in those 5 years are long gone. You are you YN. Let's end it at the beginning. You are you YN was stunned, and she shook her head for a long time. I won't let go. I love you. I know it's too late for me to realize that I love you, but it's not too late to make up for it now. I will be twice as good to you, and I will accompany you in the future wherever you want to go. I will accompany you whatever you want to do. I will accompany you to do it. It's not too late. She held my hand tightly. Isn't it the best time now? You don't have to worry about the strategy anymore, and I have recognized my heart. Give me a chance, and we will be fine in the future, okay? At this time, a sneer suddenly came from not far away. You are fine? What about me? I turned around and saw Zhao Mingze, whom I hadn't seen for a long time. Liu Yu Yan, I have done so much for you in the past 2 months. Why did you turn a blind eye to it? How can you be so cold-blooded and cruel? Do you know what I will face if I fail in my strategy? How can you be so cold-blooded and be? How can you not like me? How can you not and will face a five faces this and suddenly rang in my mind, be careful. A headquarters meant be careful has recursive mental state has mental state has the fight way. A headquarters mental state has its mental state as we face and the smell state is a knife can shamming fail mind I has face fail and his face fail and I has face fail. Be smiley with face tail and is feeling why it is face fail and his face tail. I don't want ice fail you white net enough this daily why are you after fail make any king we why is that's just that. How is it possible? He looked up in disbelief, his eyes in focus. I have been practicing martial arts since I was a child. How could I? You dare to do it without even knowing the target of the strategy? I let go, and he fell to the ground. He suddenly burst into tears again. Please, system, give me another chance. I don't want to die. The clocked hour in the distance rang the hour of 12 noon, and his voice stopped abruptly. Zhao Ming's A was wiped out. Doctors and police soon arrived at the scene, and his cause of death was diagnosed as a sudden heart attack. The system side, the quick-to-ask contract he chose, has the heaviest penalty for failure. If his system does not execute the elimination, he will also be affected. I looked at the empty streets and asked softly, can he return to his original world? The best result is to go back, but his original body can't hold on for much longer. You are you, Anne's face was pale, and she murmured, is he really dead? This is the rule of the game. I turned and walked towards the beach. 5 years ago, I almost died in a failed mission. It was my system that bought me an opportunity with my performance. She followed me, trembling. Lie, why didn't you tell me? I've said it countless times. I stopped, but you always pushed me away with indifference. You always question my sincerity, but never give me a chance to speak. She suddenly grabbed me. Now I'm willing to listen. I know I was wrong. I was just afraid of being deceived, so I disguised myself with indifference. But my sincerity has long been consumed by your indifference. I gently pried open her fingers. Liu Ruyn, you don't love me, but the self who will never be hurt. And I have learned to love the people and things in this world who are more worthy. After that night, I blocked all contact information of Liu Ruyn. 3 months later, Grandma told me that she resigned as the president of Liu Corporation and left I Cheng. Zhao Song said, President Li said that he would find the system and restart the time. I looked at the family portrait given by my grandma on the desk and shook my head gently. Some Mrs. may not be able to rewrite the ending even if they are done again. Before the system left, I saw it off at the beach. In the sunset, its voice was full of smiles. Xiao Wu be happy in the future. Look how beautiful this sea of flowers is. I raised my glass to it. The sea breeze brought a salty and bitter smell, but also mixed with the hope of new life. Nowadays, I often sit on the balcony and watch the hustle and bustle in front of the UHI building. My cousin occasionally brings a group of models to make a scene, and my grandmother always sets up the chess game in the study and waits for me to review it. Whenever I pass by the coffee shop on the corner, I still think of the day when I first met Liu Yuan, but there is no ripple in my heart. Sincerity may be late, but it will never be absent. I believe that on a sunny day, I will meet the person who is willing to see the mountains and seas with me. And those stories that once touched my heart, regretted, and grew up will turn into stars to illuminate my way to the future.